Hello, welcome to the Scott and James show. Not really, I've been playing a golf game. So, it's the Scott and James show. Oops, what's going on here? Is that yours?
No, it's not.
Okay, so we've got a slight delay there. So, it's the Scott and James show, and let me turn this off here because that's. Oh dear. Is that volume down?
Yeah, it's just smooth as butter as
Oh
always.
yeah, so no better than last week then. We get
I'm
this.
definitely, yeah, I can definitely hear you.
Yeah, so we've got an interesting one this week. Whereas
Is
me,
that putting you off a little bit? You
yeah, it's
feel like
putting
you're
me off a little
talking to
bit.
yourself.
Yeah. So is that coming from your computer then?
No, I've turned all the desktop audio off because I were having the same problem or having a bit of an echo.
Ah, okay. Oh, hang on. I know what it is. Do you know what? Sorry about that.
Well,
That was a delay on YouTube.
there you go.
So another ropey start. So we've had a bit of an interesting week. I've been out with the camera. Where have you been, Scott?
I've been to Munich,
Yeah, working.
drinking, drinking.
Drinking. Very
Yeah,
nice. So,
which wasn't the problem.
yeah.
But do you know what it is? Carry on, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to grab some batteries because I've just had a warning saying my battery's low on
Oh,
camera,
lovely.
which is
Right. I'll tell you what then. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this video
nice to do.
of what I've been up to this week, and then we'll have a chat about it. Then.
Yeah, I'll swap the batteries whilst we do that.
Yeah. So have a look at this, and then we'll see where we are. We've got a free-for-all task today, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about what I'm going to do. Should we go, Watson? Well, you'd think Wilson was that excited about going out. It was off to some kind of theme park, but no, he just wants to sniff the grass, eat the grass, and he wants to just sniff about. This video we're doing today is basically just portraits, and it's a shot of me. There's nobody else about at the moment, and also obviously him. It's quite hard to do portraits because I really don't like having my photograph taken, and I probably tend to overdo it a little bit. Oh, Wilson's poo bag time. Just picked up another dog's poo by accident. Oh, it was cold. Something about picking up another dog's poo, it doesn't don't sit right well with me. So back onto portraits. So I don't really like having my photograph taken, but what I was doing was trying to direct the light, just to give you an idea as to how you can make the most of it. So if you're taking a portrait of yourself on the phone, on your phone, it would have a self-focus button on it, so you don't really need to do much, to be honest with you. But what I did was used my DSLR with manual focus, and because there was nobody there to manage the focus, I had to try and set this myself. So I'd found that I had messed up on probably quite a few of them. It's hard to tell when you're looking at the viewfinder. I actually thought they were alright, but when I got them in post-production, quite a few of them were out of focus. And I tried setting the focus by putting something where I thought I was going to be sitting, but it was just slightly out, and it was only a fraction. But because I was using a shallow depth of field, it was out. I didn't want to have the light right in front of me because it can tend to flatten the image. So what you want to do is you want to create some depth, and the way you do that is by having the light to the side, and what that does, it creates some shadow on your face, and it helps to create the best look, really. So you don't need to use flash or anything if you haven't got access to artificial light. You can use natural light, so you could be near a window, anything that you've got, really. Sometimes natural light is the best. So I also used a second light, and just to create a bit more depth, I used a light behind me, and all that did was shed some light onto the back, which then gives some separation from me to the background. And then, once I've done the pictures of me, the best ones I think were the ones of Wilson, and naturally he's very photogenic, and as long as I had some dog treats in my hand, I could literally direct his head where I wanted to, as long as he, first of all, as long as he wasn't going to start drooling, which he started to, but then also as long as he knows that he's going to get a treat. He will do anything, won't you, boy? Wilson? 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 Sometimes he listens. So then let's have a look how I edited some of these. And again, as I mentioned, especially with the ones of me, I've probably overdone it a bit because I really don't like my own image or photo, but I didn't go to as much effort with Wilson because I didn't really need to. So let's have a look. So, um, Wilson's quite good at posing, isn't he?
He's better than you.
Yeah, it was difficult to be honest with you. Besides, nobody was throwing me any treats or anything.
No, did he stay still long enough?
Do you know what? If I have a treat in my hand, literally, I know I said it in the video, but I can literally get him to do anything really. Um,
That's good. That's good.
Plus, he's nat. I thought he was here then. He's naturally greedy. So
Um, I like the ones where you'd managed to get all those letters that were on wallpaper to kind of fall onto your top.
yeah,
That was quite clever.
yeah. Well, that's what I was saying in the video where I think I'd probably overdone it a bit because the first ones we were doing that were coloured, I'd obviously used gels on them, and I deliberately left the lights in the picture just to emphasise where the light is coming from.
Yeah.
Um, but apart from the one of Wilson where he was just catching that little bone in his mouth, it didn't really suit him to have the gels, so that's why I took them off because you don't really need to do anything to make him look good. Whereas I was pulling out all the stops trying to pass my
Did
pictures.
you get the Vaseline out and put a bit of that on lens as well?
Wondered where you're going with that then. Yeah,
But yeah, it's if you can get if you can get him to stay still long enough, it's a lot easier with animals, isn't it? Really, because
yeah.
did you feel quite self-conscious when you were doing it?
Um, Not really. Actually, if I was sat down there pretending to pose without a camera, I would be fine. But then, I guess like most of the people that we take pictures of, as soon as you get a camera in the face, there's something which just changes, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think my default look is miserable. I found it hard to do anything else really because I was literally just sat in my room, and I think if I started smiling or laughing, although nobody was actually there, I would probably think to myself, "There's something not right up here, which is
You
going
think
on."
it'd have come across a bit not a bit fake, but maybe a bit forced?
Yeah, yeah,
I find that so I'm pretty much like the same as you. If I'm doing anything like that, I always go for the mean and moody look
yeah,
rather than you need a natural smile or a natural laugh. Otherwise, like you say, it just looks a bit forced.
yeah,
And you can tell the kind of difference then, can't you?
yeah. I mean, I did a photo shoot once um, for a hotel, and they'd got two models in, and on tap, just like that, smiling, putting on the look, and I would really struggle with that, wouldn't you? Just to
Yeah,
naturally just get yourself you know, in the mood for what picture you're supposed to be taking.
definitely. It's practice, isn't it? Was that the one down at the Armories? Was it
No,
down there?
no,
No.
it was the one at the Great Victoria.
Okay. Just I thought you'd done something with some models down at
Oh yeah,
Armories
yeah.
years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a 007 thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
But yeah,
this one.
it's strange, isn't it? And they can just move from kind of one post to another, to another, to another, and you can
Yeah,
essentially are just kind of clicking away. And then if you get an idea, you kind of you can share it with you. I mean, that's I guess that's what you're paying for with your paid models, really, isn't it?
yeah. I know for a fact that I'm not model material anyway. But if somebody wanted to, and they said give the happy look, it's hard to just put it on tap, isn't it? Especially if
Yeah.
you're kind of feeling a bit apprehensive in the first place.
You do. You feel like you're almost performing, don't you? So you're like,
Yeah,
just look a bit constipated.
yeah, yeah. But Wilson, on the other hand,
Spot on.
yeah, he was good, and you never know. There might be some phone calls from some advertising agencies wanting to hire one of us out. Probably him.
Well, that might be it. I mean, next time we see him, he might be on in some Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah. Wilson, the greediest dog in the world.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Pulling somebody around,
Yeah.
like he does
So
you.
when I did these, I had a remote once, and I don't know where it is. And what I could have quite easily done is just sit there and press the remote. But I spent that long looking for it that I just thought, you know what, I'll just set the timer on the camera, and it did 2 shots each one, and I didn't have to walk far to do it. But the ones which I didn't show was I wanted to use a shallow depth of field because the wall was quite close behind me. Um, so by me just moving forward and backwards just slightly, it was completely out.
So you've got a few that are, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
completely out.
similar to when we were doing the low key shots
Yeah,
with the lights and everything set up. I found that until I realised that I could connect my phone to the camera, to the
yeah,
newer camera anyway, and so I could use that for checking the focus on. But it's still not when you're shooting quite shallow depth of field, it's quite difficult to actually nail it. And your phone screen and your camera screen isn't always big enough to check it that critically anyway.
mm, yeah. That's right. I mean, if I was doing this for a proper job, I would probably tether it and I would get a screen set up so that we can all see what's going on, or at least that I can see, rather than just relying on um, the screen at the back of the camera. Because I know we said a couple of weeks ago that you look at the back of it and it looks perfect. You get it home, and only then do you realise that it isn't exactly how you wanted it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's a shame because I did have some bits that I wanted to do, so that I had something to show. So sorry everybody, but
Yeah, you can
unfortunately
do
I've
it next
just
week.
well, yeah, I've been that kind of tired that I just haven't had the chance to get everything imported onto the computer that
Yeah,
I wanted to in order to get it done. So we'll see.
yeah,
See if it's worth sharing it next week. But hopefully we might get a challenge for next week.
yeah. Are we going to set one ourselves, or is somebody going to set them for us? Do you reckon?
I think that we're open to suggestions.
Yeah. So,
And if we don't get anything in the next couple of days, because you can see, the chat's absolutely lighting up at the moment. There's
oh
that many
yeah,
people trying to talk to us.
oh yeah.
Um,
So you can chat whilst you're watching if you like. We'll
but yeah, if we don't get any suggestions, then what we'll do is we'll come up with a couple. Seeing as we're both kind of on semi-lockdown status again, chances are we're not going to be able to meet up and do it together.
yeah,
But we'll see what we could do. I think what did we manage twice that we managed to go out together since we started doing this back
yeah.
kind
It
of
was
what
on the
we're
Mars, wasn't it?
March,
And at Kirkstall Abbey.
yeah, and then everything's changed again. So we'll just have to see what we can come up with.
Yeah. So if you're new to
Especially now
watching
it's getting
this,
dark on a night as well,
it's
a lot
what?
earlier.
Yeah,
Getting
it
dark,
is. Yeah.
so
Well, we could do something with the night photography, like
yeah,
like the trails, either in the sky or light trails, which is always a fun one to do, isn't it?
yeah. So that could be one of the ideas then. So we just need another one, and we can put a poll up so that
Yeah.
everybody can decide.
Yeah. So we're gonna go with one challenge, which is on a night time where we will be photographing light. That's what we'll talk about, isn't it? And then if anybody comes up with an alternative task, we'll include that in the poll. So don't be shy, and we'll see how that goes.
What we can come up with.
Yeah,
And maybe next week will be a bit smoother with the whole live if we can do it live again.
do you know what? well, it's trial and error, I guess, because last
Yeah.
week there was an issue there, and then this week I had that computer on. I've obviously got the audio here. You've got whatever you've got going on, but I didn't realise underneath this screen here where I'm recording this, I was on YouTube,
Right.
and that's where it was. I was scratching my head, wondering where
I'll keep playing back.
the delay was coming from.
Yeah.
Um,
But we'll get there. I had a bit of an echo to start with, but I think it's sorted now. But I won't know till I play it back.
yeah,
That's the thing. But we'll suss it out. There's less planning involved, which I think that's probably obvious to everybody. But it means we've got a bit more flexibility, haven't we? And we can
yeah,
just jump on and crack on with it rather than having to
mm.
pre-record it and load it and everything. So
Yeah. It does.
all
It
good
does
fun.
make it easier, doesn't it? I guess, but I think
Yeah.
I think over time we will get the hang of the fact that we need to talk and get everything right. But um, there you go. So
All good.
it's what?
It's all good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all good fun. Hope you find it fun. If you do find it fun, me and Scott have obviously on YouTube page. So if you want to subscribe, please do so. Click the like button. If you've got any comments to make, good or bad, send them our way. But I think that's me covered with
Yeah.
the task that I did this week. And I don't mind doing stuff like that because it's all kind of experimental, isn't it? And you just
Yeah. And
playing
look, I mean,
about.
looking at it, yeah, but it's not from what I see. Obviously, knowing what we do and everything, but obviously, I've seen you sat there and you're doing your portraits and stuff. But you've done your B-roll and stuff whilst you're out with Wilson as well. So you've got a bit of variety there to what you've done.
Mm,
Um, it's not as if you just kind of sat there and taken a few photos of yourself and then thrown them up, which probably, if I was to have forced it tonight, I think that I'd have just thrown up a couple of photos that I did while we were there.
yeah.
And bearing in mind, everything was done on my phone because I don't fancy taking a camera when I'm going on a 4-day drinking session in a foreign
Yeah,
country.
yeah, can understand. Can understand you wouldn't do. Um,
I have the same discussion with myself every time though, because it's tempting, isn't it? Because you know how much better they are for the photos and everything, but it's asking for trouble because I'm just going to leave it somewhere or drop it.
yeah, yeah. Especially if you're going on that kind of trip where, you could quite easily walk out and leave it on table or drop it.
Never
And
say it again.
yeah, that's a nightmare that. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed doing that because remember when we went to the NEC for the photography show,
Yeah,
and me and you sat down to watch that guy do the lighting, and he did the Rembrandt light, didn't he?
it Glenn Jewis, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was on a couple of them. I was trying to get that effect, but I also like you only need one light really, but I also like when you get one from behind as well. It kind of just adds a bit of extra depth to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It
Um,
sounds again going back to the low key ones, wasn't it? Just putting that one behind with a gel on it or the other one behind it, just to create that little bit of separation from the background.
mm,
Just makes, like I say, it gives it that little bit more depth, a bit more texture.
yeah, yeah. So, are we at 9 o'clock next week?
Yeah, I think so. I think it just gives us a bit more flexibility, a
Yeah,
bit more time to get everything set up.
yeah. So, if you can make it for 9 o'clock next week, if it's not past your bedtime or if it's too late. In fact, we're actually after the watershed now, so we could have come out with all sorts of stuff tonight.
We could say a few, yeah, might a bit of Bluefoot Dads
Yeah,
and some
especially
jokes.
with the
We
yeah,
might have to change that intro though, James.
yeah,
Instead of coffee, we might need it changing to cocoa or Ovaltine.
yeah. That's a good
None,
idea.
none, none of which sponsor the show. But
No,
if Ovaltine's listening,
Yeah, maybe not. I'm surprised if anybody's listening, to be honest with you.
Well, we are.
Yeah, that's,
And,
that's
and you two computers. So that's at least five of us that we've
yeah.
got there.
I've got another 10 downstairs, all watching this.
On your phone as well.
Yeah. So, um, until next week, we will see you then. We're done, aren't we?
We are. Goodbye for now.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.
Ta-da.
Bye.